Welcome to the 2022 U.S. World Championship Trials. I'm Coleman Hodges coming to you from Greensboro. With me is Ben Dornan, and we are going to give you our thoughts of Night 2 finals. Ben, start us off with the men's 200 free and how Team USA's 800 free relay is shaping up.
Yeah, so I think that the big conversation heading into this was that we had lost a lot of the 200 freestylers from Tokyo, with Townley Haas retiring and a few of the other guys, Patrick Callan not racing. And
he's out.
Yeah. And so it was kind of like, who's going to make this event? And now that we know that it's Carson Foster, Kieran Smith and Drew Kibler getting the individual spots and being on the relay, and then Trent and Julian in fourth. That's kind of an unexpected group that we probably wouldn't have pegged as the top four swimmers. And just looking at the schedule, it looks like Kobe Carrozza is going to be the only person in the top six. So of that pool of 4x200 freestylers that won't have an individual event. We already have Kieran and Kibler in the 200 free individually. We expect Kieran to make the 400. Carson Foster has a good shot to make an IM event. Trent and Julian's in the 200, and all of those events are before. The 200 fly, and all of those events are before the 4x200 freestyle relay, which I think is on the third last day of the meet. So compared to the past, when you have people like Seliskar and Callan and Kibler in Tokyo, where their real main focus is only the 4x2 or maybe also the 4x100. There's not a lot of guys who are going to be only focused on the 4x200 freestyle relay. And then having that on the third last day, it's going to be interesting to see how they can fare with that, considering they'll probably be a bit tired.
I feel like that might even be a positive, though, just because if they have other swims, they have other things to focus on. Whereas, I mean, you could, fans, commenters, like Team USA puts a lot on their relays, right? And that 4x2 has a rich tradition going back decades, right? And so it's like the guys who were on it in Tokyo, half of them, it was like their first time on a team, right? The prelim swimmers. And then Sella's car didn't have any other swims. Townley didn't have any other swims besides the individual. Zappel had the individual 100 free, but it's like, Kieran had the 400 free. So, half of the guys didn't really have anything else. And you could tell that was their half of those guys' first time being on that relay. So it was a lot. So I'm wondering if getting some young blood who just don't have that much to worry about, if you give them other focuses, maybe it'll just kind of loosen them up a little bit for that relay.
Yeah. And interestingly, I think even though it's a lot of new names to the 4x200, it's a lot of people that have experience. Carson Foster, we can talk about the fact that he hasn't been on a senior international team, but he does have racing experience at a high level. He's done well at World Juniors before. We know how it went at trials last year, but he has the potential to be good. So I think, that's true that the experience there and the fact that they have other focuses can pay off for them.
So the other interesting part is that if we're comparing British trials to US trials, we got Duncan Scott 45.5, Thomas Dean 45.7, James Guy 46.4, and Joe Litchfield at fourth 47.6, compared to our Kieran Smith 45.2, Kibler 45.3, Carson 45.6 and 45.5 in the morning, and Trent and Julian 46.6. So if you combine those, we're ahead of the Brits by well over 2 seconds.
Yeah. And another thing is that Matt Richards was on the finals relay for Britain that won gold, and he actually came seventh at British trials. So he's probably not even going to be there.
Yeah, I don't even think he made the team unless he made it in the 100 freestyle, which I'm not sure if he did, but yeah, so it's like they look off their game. I mean, they're heavy favorites on paper, obviously, but people forget that year to year things can change so much. And again, with Russia being out of the picture, with Australia being undermanned, it seems like, we're going to have a good shot at that relay.
Yeah. From fourth to gold, maybe.
Yeah. Tonight gave a lot of hope. Women's 200. Let's switch to the women's 4x2.
Yeah.
Haley Flickinger made it. She already is in the 200 fly. I wonder if it's the women's is so weird because we had 5 157s, right? Which is just not going to get it done on an international stage.
No. Yeah. And even with a bit of a weaker Australia and, China, we don't know where the Chinese women stand right now. There's no information there, but we didn't know where they were before Tokyo, and they came and they won gold,
right.
In a world record time. So yeah. And Haley Flickinger is interesting because that 200 fly, it's the 200 fly final. And then immediately next, it's the 4x200 final. So is she even going to swim that? I don't know. And I think that the prelims are both the same session too. So it's possible that she came fourth at trials and won't even race prelims or finals in that event.
I would think they would at least put her on for prelims, but it's like she got fourth with 157.5, and she is a workhorse, and she can double and triple in sessions. And it's like, I wouldn't really worry if the coaches think she's up for it, then I trust them because I think she can do it. But if she's going to go 157.5, then it's like, I think she'll probably swim prelims and then focus on the 2 fly. I'm just curious as to who is going to step it up and be able to throw down like the 156 or even the 155 high that we need. Cause like, obviously we have a Ledecky, and she's capable of a 153 anchor, but it's like with this crew, do you have her lead off and then try to hold on? Cause like Leah Smith, I think she's a veteran. I think she can split 156. Alex Walsh, who got 6th, so maybe she'll make the team, but it's like, I would think she's a veteran in her own right. She has international experience, but you got some of these young kids, these sandpiper girls who are literally 15. It's just like, are they going to be able to give you those splits to get on the podium and win?
Yeah. And I don't know about the rules, but like who says that they get there and like Erica Brown makes the team in the 4x100 or something, and she's looking good in the 200 over in the next few months, and they could throw her on that relay. I don't know. I think that the rule is that everyone who makes the team and like goes there has to swim at least prelims. But
yes,
but yeah, I could see a situation where Flickinger's out, and I mean, if Alex Walsh is doing the 200 IM, and they don't want to put her on the final for some reason, I don't know, maybe they'll start pulling from other events. But yeah, it's interesting on both the men and the women. The 4x200 field is pretty interesting.
Yeah, so that one doesn't give me as much hope as the men did for the relay moving forward. But Katie was speaking in the press room tonight, and she said, we have our trials and then we go to the international meet, and we are always able to put ourselves in a position where we're in the mix. Like they did it last summer when everyone was kind of like, oh, Australia is like head and shoulders better. Right. And then, US came out, beat Australia, almost won under the previous world record. So it's like, I believe in Team USA. I think they can, but it's a hard road from here.
Yeah.
So we saw 2 US Open records tonight. One was in the 200 back, 2:05.08 from Phoebe Bacon. And then Ryan White right behind her, 2:05.13. They both got under Missy Franklin's record, US Open record, 2:05.68. So did Regan Smith by 3 100s, but she got third. Do you think this is the end of the 200 back for Regan Smith?
I don't know. It kind of looks that way. I wrote the article about Phoebe, and I was just considering, like, was Regan just really perceptive that there were these 2 women coming up, or was she realizing that there was a weakness in the 200 fly and she could get that second spot? Like it doesn't seem like she's completely out of it, because it's not like she's losing to like 14 people in the 200 back. It's really the 3 of them that are ahead of the rest. Phoebe, Ryan, and Regan. It's the 3 of them, and she was right there. So it's not like the 200 back is like she has no hope left, but she's looking really strong in the 200 fly. in terms of holding on to that second spot for at least until Paris. So I don't know, maybe it's just like trying to train for the 100 back, the 200 fly, and the 200 backstroke is a lot, and she knows that the 200 fly might be easier. I don't know if that's selling her too short, but it really seems like Phoebe and Ryan, I mean, making the team 2 years in a row in an event where the world record holder has been a 203 is kind of shows that they were ready for the challenge, and that they didn't back down when they went up against Reagan. So I don't know. I don't think it's the end for Reagan in the 200 back if she doesn't want it to be, but I don't know. I just think that Phoebe and Ryan are really impressive. that's my takeaway.
That's a good takeaway. That was a dramatic question. I don't either. I think like I want to pull from, okay, well, she swam the 200 fly yesterday. Maybe she was just, a little worn out from that, but it's like, but she did the 2 back 2 fly double at NCs and then swam on their 400 free relay. Like it's, so I think, she's, for whatever reason, she just hasn't been able to get back down to where she was in that event. And, my guess would be, she's just swimming. She's swimming her best events. And for whatever reason, it's not clicking in that event because she had a solid 2 fly. Again, at NCs, we didn't see her where she had been in the 2 back. She got pretty close, but she didn't go best time,
And she won, right? Is that correct?
She did win. She won the 2 back. And then she won a best time in the 2 fly. So it's like, it's I'm sorry. I don't think she won a best time in the 2 fly, but she got tied for second. So it's just kind of hard to see, because she is the world record holder and you want to put your best swimmers up, but hats off to Ryan and Phoebe because they got the job done again in times that would have gotten a silver medal in Tokyo.
And it's also interesting because at that meet 2019, she broke obviously the 100 and the 200 record. And even though she's kind of like last summer, she was better in the 100 in terms of the US rankings and got onto the team in that event. And the 100 is still the event that is more competitive worldwide. Like her record has been broken now, I think twice by Kylie she broke Kylie's record and then Kaylee broke Reagan's record. Yep. But the 200 record, Kaylee's only been at 204. Like that's untouchable still. So it's interesting that she's kind of distanced from the 200 backstroke, but with hindsight, that 200 backstroke record was actually more impressive than the 100 back record.
Yeah. It's really interesting how that works. And I don't have a good answer for it.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like, what's happening, especially because Reagan won the 2 back at NCs and Phoebe and Ryan weren't as good. Right.
Yeah. I think Phoebe Bacon is definitely obviously good in yards. Like she is an NCAA medalist and is very capable in yards, but she's definitely an example of someone who's a long course swimmer. I think when we kind of delineate between people who really exceed at the top level long course and short course yards, I think that she is proving herself to be very capable in meters.
Agreed. We also saw a US Open record, two guys pop under the US Open record in the 50 fly. Caleb Dressel won it 22.84. Michael Andrew right behind him, 22.87. I don't know if there's a ton to talk about here. They swam a fast 50 fly. In his post-race interview, Caleb said that his 100 free is always the last to come around on a rest meet. And so he was pretty nervous about that 100 free last night when he won in 47.7. But after that, he can kind of settle in a little bit. I think we saw that with the 50 fly win tonight.
Yeah.
Did you take away anything from that 50 fly race?
No, because I didn't expect Michael Andrew to win. I think that he had it in him to win. Like he was obviously also under the US Open record and is competitive, but it's just funny that we're at day 2 and Michael Andrew hasn't made the team yet, even though we kind of talked about the fact that like, oh, is he going to make 7 events? But of course the 50 fly was
one event, right?
Yeah, that was his first shot. And so that was my first reaction, but I know that he still has the 3 other 50s and the 100 fly and the 100 breast. So I feel like that's kind of a good warm-up event for Michael Andrew. And the fact that he was so fast kind of makes me feel good about the rest of his races.
Agreed. Especially, I mean, like the 100 breast, like
Yeah.
he obviously can, but it's like he can't not make that,
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that's really his to lose. We've got other people with huge event schedules. Claire Curzan is fulfilling my prophecy of just blowing up. She's already got 2 individuals, right? 100 free, 50 fly. She's on fire. It certainly seems like she could at least get the 100 fly. She's going to be competitive in the 100 back and the 50 free, I think, as well. What happens if she swims 5 individuals at World Champs?
Well, and then also there's the 50 back. She's entered in that, and you never know with Claire Curzan. Could she win the 50 back?
I talked to her coach. Well, maybe she is swimming it. I know he said they were scratching the tuner back, which they did today, but man, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, I think she has a good shot. I mean, I don't see any reason to think that she won't be top 2 in the 100 fly. I think the 50 free is more of anybody's race. Not really anybody's race, but I can see her coming, not getting in the top 2 there. Just considering that it's a little bit deeper. But I mean, 2 events after 2 days and 4 more events to go. She's definitely looking to be one of the most impressive parts of this meet.
Yeah, like I'm curious if we could see like an Emma McKeon situation where she goes to Budapest and just freaking dominates.
Yeah.
I would love.
All of the 6th place finishers on the relays, on the 100 and 200 freestyle relays, definitely love Claire Curzan because she's just going to stack up 6 events and let all of them make the team.
Seriously. I mean, we already have, I feel like we're already like way more on pace for more doubles than we were at for the Olympic Games, which is good to see because then everyone makes the team and there's no, 6th place people getting left at home.
Yeah.
Terrible. In other highlights, Shane Casas makes the team. Huzzah.
Yeah, that was kind of a underrated part of the night, I think, at least in the group chat that I was talking. And Shane, I feel like he's been the conversation of like, will he make a team? Will he make a team? Great at World Championships, short course World Championships. And he finally did it. There was a lot of 200 IM hype, and that's still definitely live, and he still has a shot in that. But getting on the team in the 200 back, I think was definitely a great confidence boost for him. Especially not too far behind Murphy. Like Murphy has been faster and probably will be faster, but that's looking like a really strong duo of backstrokers heading into the summer. And yeah, Casas still has 2 events left that he could make it, or 3 events, I guess, if you count the 100 fly. So yeah, that's great.
I think, yeah, he has a good possibility in that.
Yeah.
And so last thing, Kate Douglas, who also could potentially have a lot of events. She's on the 4x1. She's now officially on it because she made it in the 200 breast, which is just nuts. She went 2:21.4, which is so fast.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She beat out Annie Laser. She swam a great race. Do you see her making it in the 100 fly?
I don't. I just think, I think that Curzan has to be at this point a lock for me in the 100 fly. Uh-huh. I don't know. I mean, Kate Douglas, it's hard. It's like Tori Huss, Kate Douglas, like maybe Kelsey Dahlia. I find out.
Jack, get out of my shot.
Go back and forth. Hi. I feel like I go back and forth between all of them. Is the 100 fly, like, does that conflict anything at trials with Kate? For Kate?
No. So she's just got that tomorrow.
Sink or swim, Kate Douglas makes the 100 fly. I'm going to sink it, but not for any good reason, because she is Kate Douglas and she very well could make the team.
Yeah, I mean, she was so close at trials, but like Tori, she's looked good. Tori and Claire also look good. Like Kelsey, I think, is still kind of on that bubble. Like if she had the race of her life, she could maybe get second, but
I'm sinking because I'm willing that Kelsey Dahlia will make the team, because that's just like a goodwill pick from me.
I like it. All right. So that's night 2 finals recap. Stay tuned for nightly recaps every night right after finals. We'll see you tomorrow.